Good job.
Yeah,
all right, and
thanks,
you have good news for us.
Throw a goat head jersey on you for the weather tonight.
Might as well bring in the bad news with the good news, I guess. You know what? We're talking about the winter outlook and where this is going to extend for us into December and January and February. A lot of people talk about La Nina. What does that mean? It actually impacts our weather globally, and it all has to do with the sea surface temperatures that's in the Pacific, in the eastern Pacific primarily. It's going to be cooler. What that does is causes this jet stream, the polar jet, to be a little further north, and those end up tracking right across western New York. What does that mean for our winter? There are many factors when it comes to what our winter is going to really shape up to be, but this one will impact us. And what it ends up doing, actually, it's the third time that we've had a La Nina winter, and it's not typical that we do. It's only happened 2 other times since we've started recording this, back in the 70s and one in the late 90s. And what it typically means, we end up having milder temperatures. We've had that the last couple of years, and above normal precipitation. But that doesn't mean that it's in the form of snow. It could be rain as well, and that's going to cause some temperature swings. We get those storm systems to come through and warm things up, and then behind it, it gets really cold, and then we deal with some lake effect. But it also is likely going to kind of subside a bit, the potential for it to subside a bit as the winter finishes, and that could lead to a colder end to our winter. Now, last year, we had several months where it was all above average. Only January ended up a dip below average, and that also coincided with a ton of snowfall. Now, this was all in the form pretty much of lake effect during that time frame, and we almost ended up right where we should be for average snowfall. We should just be about 100 inches for the year, and we were just about there last year. We'll likely get up to near that level once again. The 2 years prior to that, it was a lot lower, and then the 2 years before that, we had temperatures that were just at or below average for the entire year, and that's where we stacked up some snow. So as for this year, where are we going? Top 10 snowfalls, I don't think we'll be getting there. Average is pretty much where we're going to tend to be, at least when we look at what the years have gone through with La Nina the last 2 years. As for projected snowfall totals, now this is through the entire year, and Buffalo's looking to be very average. Those higher snowfall totals come a little further south and east of Buffalo, obviously, through the snow belt, and we'll likely get a couple of really good systems to come through and bring in some of that lake effect as well. And our temperature for the lake is above average right now by a degree, but I'm mentioning that because we're going cold for the end of next week and into next weekend as well. The potential for a lake effect is going to be there going into not only this weekend, but into next week with these below average temperatures. Right now, we are in the 40s, and that colder air is going to be with us as we go into the night. But with it, we have clear skies, and that's going to allow us to see that lunar eclipse set up through the overnight towards early tomorrow morning for Election Day. Take a look at where we're going. Temperatures will be in the 40s, but the sunshine will be there as well. And speaking of that colder air coming into play, we're going to see those numbers in the 60s early on, and then into the 40s, even 30s this coming weekend.